Back with BNS in the stock game. The markets are looking pretty okay. We're still hovering around that 5,700 mark, and fair bit of action is being seen in the small cap side at least. We are up by close to 1% on that index. In sectoral terms as well, all the sectoral indices doing well, barring some bit of pressure on the auto counter. So Tata Motors is off by close to about 1.5% right now. On the losing side, the advance decline ratio, of course, is also in favor of the gainers. We've got a Maruti Suzuki as well as an Axis Bank that's leading the upside right now. But what's happening with the derivative segment? As always, Navneet's here with the latest details on that. Hi, Navneet.
Hi Megha, it's turning out to be a flattish session of trade, but we're still trading on a positive bias. If you look at the futures side, the October futures are currently trading above the 5,700 mark at about 57.10 with just about 13 points premium to spot Nifty, and up till now we've seen a build-up of close to 5 lakh shares. On the option side, well, the worry remains because the Nifty PCR still trades below the level of 1, and the most active strikes as of now are 5,800 call and 5,700 put, so you can expect Nifty to trade in that range. We are seeing call writing at 5,800, which has added about close to 7 lakh shares, and 5,900 call strike has added about 2 lakh shares. On the put side, you have 5,700 strike adding about 5 lakh shares. And if you look at the stock futures among the Nifty gainers, you have Axis Bank where fresh long positions are being built up post the numbers, and you have short covering in Kane. Maruti is up and about in today's trading session. Fresh longs are seen there, but on the other side, you're seeing fresh shorts in Tata Motors post disappointing sales number coming in from JLR. And you're seeing some kind of profit booking in cement counters like ACC Ambuja. Remember, they've seen a lot of run-up in the recent past, so some profit booking has been seen today. And if you look at the mid-cap counters, Adani Ports is down in today's trading session, so fresh shorts are being built up there. And on the long side, you have Exide and Pantaloon, which are doing well in today's trading session. And if you look at the participation, it's been quite decent. We've just done about 36,000 crore of turnover on NSE up till now. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Navneet, for giving us that perspective. So it's 57.11 on the Nifty futures, and for the Nifty spot, we're still at 56.95. Well, let's take you straight to the stock game and tell you what it's all about. We get in 3 experts from the start of the week right up until the end. We give them a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees. With this money, they allocated in a total of 4 stocks in their portfolio every single day. Now, in addition to that, there's a compulsory churn of 2 stocks every single day. If a target or a stop loss is hit during intraday trade, they are required to replace those stocks with a new one. Also, if there's a sell call in the cash market that is replaced by a new stock, it's at the end of the week that we'll see who has made the maximum amount of money, and that person emerges triumphant and as the winner of the stock game. So get ready for lots of trading ideas coming your way. Let's bring on board our 3 experts who will be playing with us this entire week. We've got Manish Hathi-Ramani, proprietary trader and technical trader at Deen Dayal Investment, Shrikant Shetty, as well as Sanjeev Jain, AVP Advisory and Alternate Research at Dhani Securities. Gentlemen, thanks very much for being with us on the show. But first, let's start off with a snapshot as to what happened to their portfolios yesterday. Megha, unfortunately, we weren't able to play.
Oh, well, we weren't. But anyway, nevertheless, it was a pretty exciting sort of this turn of events for each of the individual portfolios. So let's take you through them. First up, Manish. His portfolio is on your screen. He was recommending 3 shorts. He managed to hit the target actually on a DLF, an HUL as well as a JP Associates, and ended the day, however, with a cut of close to 570 rupees. On to Shrikant Shetty's portfolio then. Well, he was also going ahead and going long on an IGL, we've got Shrikant's portfolio. Well, none of the targets or the stop losses were hit. There were 4 long calls, and he ended the day with gains of close to 3,400 rupees. Sanjeev Jain, on the other hand, well, he was going ahead and recommending a long on IGL, Grasim, Ambuja Cement, all of which hit the target. The short on Wipro didn't do too much, and he was in the lead with gains of close to 5,500 rupees by the time we wrapped up yesterday's session.
Well, by the looks of it, the markets are certainly faring better. So what are the trading ideas that our experts are recommending, and who's in the lead? Well, we'll find out over the next half hour. Manish, I'll start off with you. Welcome to the show, and tell us what the ideas, the 4 stock ideas that you're recommending today.
Good morning to you and to all our viewers. Well, the first idea that I would recommend for today would be to buy the Union Bank futures, which would be for a target of 216 and a stop loss of 192.
And what about the rest of your stocks?
Well, there's a sell call on Opto circuits, which is for a target of 130 and a stop loss of 135. The third one is a buy call on Power Finance Corporation, which is for a target of 215 and a stop loss of 198. And the last call would be a buy call on BHEL for a target of 255 and a stop loss of 243.
Okay, so you buys and one short is what Manish is betting on for today. And Shrikant, run us through your strategy. And I believe as per the rules, you've got to retain 2 counters from yesterday.
Yeah, I've retained 2 calls from yesterday, which is Opto circuits and Electro steel casting. And the new 2 calls is one is I'm short on Tata Motors, and the other one I'm long on the sugar space. I picked Triveni Engineering among the mid-cap sugar space from a trading perspective.
Okay, that's the trading strategy going into day 2 for Shrikant Shetty. Moving on then to Sanjeev Jain, and it's certainly a tight race between you and Shrikant. So run us through what your trading strategy is for today.
Yeah, good morning to all viewers. Looking at the view of the Nifty, what I said that it will consolidate and it will start its journey in the upward direction. With the view in mind, I have initiated 4 long calls, 4 buy calls for today. The first buy is by Seimens. I am long on Sun TV. I have buy call on Renbexy, and I have given buy call on Cipla.
Okay, all long portfolio coming in from Sanjeev as well for day 2. Let's then on that note take you through the calculator to tell you how our 3 experts' portfolios are pitted against each other. Manish's portfolio is up on your screen. We've got a PFC that's working in his favor. The other 3 counters unfortunately in the red right now, and overall he's losing about 1,500 rupees on the portfolio. Shrikant Shetty then on the other hand, 3 longs and 1 short was what he is betting on. Triveni Engineering is the only sore spot for him today. The other 3 are in the green, and we've got him making close to 2%. That's about a gain of 10,000 rupees. Sanjeev Jain on the other hand, Ranbaxy is where he's hit the target already. Cipla's a spot of trouble, but overall he's still doing pretty well on the portfolio as he's making a gain of 8,000 rupees. On that note, let's take it right back to our experts and discuss their first picks then in greater detail. And Manish, let's start with your first call for the day, Union Bank futures that you were betting on. A target of 216 is what you're looking at, but given the count has already run up close to 24% in the last month, how much more upside do you think is left for the near term at least?
Well, if you look at the Union Bank charts, we had a very decisive fall which came all the way from levels of 210 and we saw levels of about 190. It's very beautifully taken support over there. What actually excited me about the stock was there was a lot of volume action that built around the 188, 190 range, which actually pushed it up beyond the range of about 203, 204. Now there's a slight accumulation process happening. I'm not necessarily betting on this from an intraday perspective, but given a short-term span, which might be 3 to 4 trading sessions, I feel it can go up to achieve those targets of 216.
Okay, fairly aggressive targets coming in there on a Union Bank October futures 216 with a stop at 192. Absolutely muted as we speak. Let's go to the pharma space and Shrikant, you seem to be betting on an Opto circuits. The management is fairly gung-ho on the organic growth plans. What are the other fundamentals that you think will drive growth for this one?
No, I think I'm primarily taking a bet on the valuations where it's just taken a significant beating. The stock has seen a significant derating and now it has consolidated at lower levels and it's just starting to probably head higher. Given that even yesterday, as we said, there is a scope for re-rating possibility out here. Valuation-wise, it's attractive. The re-rating has happened because of concerns over its finances and probably issues on corporate governance as well. But the management has tried to address it, and if we start seeing the numbers coming through, and I think new rating agency giving its finances a thumbs up, then I think the stock could go back to 150, 160 kind of levels. From a trading perspective, I'm looking at a target of about 138.
Okay, things starting to look up for an Opto circuits, and Shrikant believes that we could be seeing 150 as well, possibly for this particular name. Today it's high by about 0.5%. On to a Nifty name then, Seimens. Sanjeev, this was the second biggest gainer on the Nifty yesterday. It's done pretty well for itself over the last 1 month. It's gained close to 5%. If you look at it's trading above the 200-day moving average. However, it's had quite a fall over the last year. Do you think it could, probably go back to those 800 sort of levels? Is there any chance at all technically?
Yeah, definitely, because we have seen hard beating during the last few sessions in this counter, and it has taken a good support at around 680 levels. The derivatives data as of yesterday, which suggests that fresh longs have been created into this counter, with increase in open interest by 1.8% and with the price 1.75%. Even the technical suggests that after taking a support at 680, even the RSI is in upward direction at around 51 levels, and it has been able to close above the long-term moving averages. I feel that this stock looks to be good to touch again 740, 750 levels in days to come.
740 to 750, but for an intraday play, it's a target of 713, and on a YTD basis, the counter hasn't done a whole lot, up by just about 10%. From Seimens, let's take it to the second stock idea in each of our experts' portfolio. Interesting then that Manish, you're shorting an Opto circuits while Shrikant went long on it. Is it the technical charts that are driving you to have this call, given that it has been fairly weak?
Well, I would purely testify only by technical charts. There have been certain bearish breakdowns on the particular chart, and in the last 2 or 3 trading sessions, what we've seen like as a minute up move is purely what in my chart would be a bear pullback. And unless we don't really go past the 136.50 mark and really close above that, clocking good volumes, I wouldn't look at a suggestion of actually reversing this trade. Till such time, I would maintain a bearish call.
Okay, maintaining a bear stance on an Opto circuit, and do remember the counter in fact has lost about 15% in a matter of 3 months. Today, however, it's looking up and is higher by about 0.6%. Shrikant, let's move on to your second pick, which is again a retention from yesterday, Electro Steel Castings. The company came out with its numbers as well, the second quarter numbers, and very smart set at that. Net profits at 37 crores, vis-a-vis 19 crores in the last September. We had sales also jumping very smartly. So fundamentally, you think things are pretty sound for the company? And what are the triggers going ahead?
So if you look at what the management has been saying in terms of outlook, they seem to be fairly confident about the outlook going ahead. But the numbers have clearly improved. If you look at the last quarter numbers, they reported a loss. And in the current quarter, that means June to September, they've turned around and they reported a strong profitability. Valuation-wise, it's quite attractive. It's trading at about 0.4 book value. And if you look at its project, which is Electro Steels, which is also expected to commence production soon, there could be significant upsides here from a medium-term perspective. So I think on a longer-term basis, I'm looking at a target about 45-50 kind of levels for the stock. From a trade perspective, given that there is momentum now on the upside in the mid-cap and small-cap space, and here, given the company has reported a turnaround, I think a target of 27 to 30 is possible in the short term.
Okay, that's the word coming in on Electro Steel, the counter that has been retained from yesterday, holding up by just about 0.8%. But take a look at the traction that you're seeing on an HCL Infosystems in today's session. In fact, there has been quite a bit of positive news that it signed a pact with Dell India for distribution. This is certainly going to augur well for the company. And that on the back of that news, the counter is holding up by close to 3.3%, and it's just been an upward bias for it at 45. Moving away from that, let's nail it down to the second idea in Sanjeev Jain's portfolio. It's the media space, Sanjeev, that you're betting on Sun TV. Recently, you had UBS, which came out with a buy call on all of these media counters. It put an upside target for Sun at 400, and your target's not too far behind.
Exactly. The Sun TV, as I have seen, first I have tracked the derivative data. I have seen that as of yesterday's trading, the fresh longs have been created into this counter. You know, the open interest increased by 3.5% with the price increase of around 3.5%. With that, the fundamentals have been quite good. Financial have been quite consistent for the last quarters. And even the technicals, when we track, the RSI is trading around 65 levels and trading comfortably above the long-term moving averages. I feel that this stock looks to be good for 370 and then 400 rupees target in the next coming trading sessions.
Okay, and that's a 19.5% gain for Sun TV also over the past 1 month. So clearly on a winning trajectory. Well, right now, let's get in a sense as to who's raking in the money. That's Manish Hathiramani's portfolio for today. He's gone long on 3 stocks, shorting an Opto circuits. That's giving him a little pain, as is BHEL. All in all, losing out, but marginally by about 945 rupees. Moving on then to Shrikant Shetty. His portfolio is firmly in the green. He's also gone long on 3 stocks. Tata Motors is his only short call. Triveni Engineering was a bit of a spot of bother, but a 9,000 rupee gain nonetheless. What about Sanjeev Jain? The competition is certainly hotting up and he's got 4 buy calls for today. Barring Cipla, he's also doing very well on the overall portfolio with a gain of 1.7, so 8,500 rupees for him at this point in time. Well, we slip into a quick break and lots more trading ideas on the other side.
Absolutely, and here's a reminder as well to all our viewers that your favorite show actually comes to you over the weekends as well now. So Saturday mornings at 10, Sunday afternoons at 2 and Sunday evenings at 8 p.m. is when you can catch us and get all your queries answered. Thanks very much for staying on with us on BNS in the Stock Game. We've got, of course, 6 more stock ideas coming your way. So, Manish, let's start with your third call, which was to go long on a PFC. Tell us about the technical reasons which made you go ahead and buy this.
There was an orderly correction which happened on Power Finance all the way to levels of about 185, and then after that it's been in quite a strong uptrend. While moving up, it has again corrected about 2 or 3 times and taken a very strong support at the zone of about the range between 200 and 205. Given the current scenario and the volume action, it seems like it is quite solid to be moving all the way to the target of about 215, and I would place a strict stop at the levels of 198.
Okay, those are some of the levels to watch out for on FP Power Finance Corp. In fact, moving away from that, Tata Motors DVR, well, it has been a good upward trend for that one. Why would you be betting on the DVR? Tata Motor Futures, pardon me. Sorry, Shrikant. You're shorting that one.
Yeah, it's largely dependent on the news flow. I think the JLR numbers which came in were much below expectations, and I think there can be some downsides. The expectation has been largely on the JLR numbers, and if you look at it, 90% of the profits come from the JLR business now for Tata Motors, so it's significantly dependent on that. So any disappointment there can mean significant weakness for the stock in the near term. Although this may be a one-off thing, there could be just inventory reduction kind of thing. Maybe because of that, it's the sales number look a bit lower. But if there is further months, I think this kind of numbers come through, then I think there is scope for significant correction there.
And definite weakness it certainly was for the September numbers, which came in at about 26,400 odd units, quite a bit away from the analyst expectations. What about a Ranbaxy, Sanjeev? Then, from the start of this week, it's been moving up pretty steadily, 3% higher already. Your target's been met for the day. So what's the next target on the cards?
Yeah, this particular stock, this has been consolidating for the last 1 month, and we have seen that yesterday it has given a breakout from its long-term moving averages. Even the derivatives data suggests that fresh longs have been created in the yesterday's trading. The RSI has been comfortably at 56 levels. I feel that this stock now again in a uptrend, and this looks to be good for the target of 560 to 570 in coming days.
560 to 570 not ruled out on a Ranbaxy has been a clear outperformer. Target price already achieved for Sanjeev Jain. The last and final stock idea now coming your way. A buy call coming in on a BHEL. What's your sense as to the kind of traction it can see from these levels, and would you fetch it at these valuations itself?
Well, BHEL is very, very close to the points where we had the breakout from, which was around 246, 247. Thereafter, we've even seen levels of 252. The beauty would be that the correction was very orderly, with significant volumes adding up every time there was a buy call on that. Given that situation, I feel that we can actually head up to the levels of about 255 in the short term, but the overall picture of BHEL still seems that a 270 is coming.
Okay, 270, that's a pretty aggressive target for a BHEL, and right now as well, the counter is trading absolutely flat. Away from that, let's talk about a sugar name, a Triveni Engineering, Shrikant. And why would you pick this over, say, some of the bigger frontliners, the likes of a Shriranaka or a Balram Puccini?
I think Balram Puccini does look good from a medium-term perspective, but I find good value in Triveni Engineering. If you look at Triveni Engineering, it's into sugar and plus the engineering business which it has, plus the fact that it holds about 20% in Triveni turbines, which got separated. The 20% of that valuation itself works out to 300 plus crores. And the current market cap of Triveni Engineering is just about 600 odd crores. So if the sugar policy does play out the way it has been recommended, then I think it's a sure shot doubler from here. Most of the sugar stocks will be, and plus there is good value in terms of investments, and plus the engineering business which brings value, additional value here. So on upside perspective and on a relative valuation basis, I think this is one of the most attractive bets in the mid-cap sugar space.
Okay.
So that's where I'm looking at upside till about 26 from a trading perspective.
Triveni Engineering, so clearly looking like a smart bet in the sugar pack, and the counter though is a bit muted as we speak. Finally, once again, let's talk about the last and final idea. Sanjeev, it's clearly the defenses that you're favoring. Cipla once again now emerges in your portfolio. It's been a choppy 1 month, although the 3-month chart has shown you a good gain of 10%.
Yeah, Cipla, I have seen that during last 3-4 trading session, it has taken a good support at 360 levels, and in the yesterday's trading, it is been able to cross the 100-day moving average and able to close above that levels. Even the derivatives data suggests that in the yesterday's trading, some short covering have taken place into this counter. So I am a bit bullish onto that, and it looks to be good for the target of around 380 to 390 levels.
Okay, those are some key levels to be watching out on the pharma major. Cipla 374 is the target for the day. Let's run you through the scorecard then to tell you how our 3 experts are pairing against each other. Well, we've got Manish's portfolio first up. BHE is absolutely flat. We've got Union Bank and Opto that's not looking too great right now, and overall he's losing out about 1/3%. That's about 1,500 rupees. Srikanth Shetty, on the other hand, a good day turning out to be for him once again. Triveni Engineering is the only spot of bother. We've got the other 3 counters firmly in the green zone, and overall he's making a sum of about 9,000 rupees. That's 1.8% higher. Sanjeev Jain, well, similar story here. We've got Cipla that's looking a bit troublesome. Ranbaxy is where he's hit the target, and overall he's also sitting on a gain of about 8,500 rupees. So as of now, it's a tight race between Sanjeev as well as Srikanth, and Manish, of course, will have 3 more days to catch up with our other experts. So thanks very much, gentlemen, for being with us today. We will be waiting to see what you dole out for us tomorrow morning.
But completely timed out right here on the Stock Game. Thanks so much for watching. Coming your way next is Market Sense.